Hello. Today I'm talking to you about leeks. I got these in the market yesterday. They were perfect and they've dried off quite a bit overnight in a warm kitchen. The thing is, when you buy leeks, make sure that they're fresh, and you can tell they're fresh because they're flat at the top, where they've been cut off. Usually, and of course, look at that, it looks nice and fresh too. This one is older and it's shot up a bit. It's grown since it was cut. Just a useful tip. The first thing I do when I've got a leek that I want to keep, and I do keep them a lot, cut off the stem and, I've got some more to chuck it there, and then I cut it into, chuck that one too. I cut it into pieces like this. No, that's not the first thing I do. The first thing I do, and you can see I need to, the first thing I do is to take my stone and my knife and underwater sharpen it. I did sharpen it, but these are very strong leeks, so I reckon. So I cut them into trunks like that, and then start preparing them this way. You can see many things that I do here. First of all, I take the white pieces of all of them. I'm going to put that out of the way. All of them. And I cut them into, see, rounds. Little rounds like that. Easy enough to do. Voila. And because I'm going to throw them in a packet and freeze them like that in a bag. And then at the next part along the trunk, it's a little bit greener. I often take off the outside piece because it's a bit hard. Throw that away. I've got something I'm throwing into there. And I can do this for salads. I've always got a little bit of onion. You can pretend it's garlic, but of course it is. It's a leek. But cut them like this. You see what I'm doing. And boom! What have you got? Lots of little squares that go nicely into salads, or of course soups, or your pâté, whatever, wherever you want some onion flavour or leek it's going to be flavour. Then I take the larger bits like that, which will need washing because they get mud in them, don't they? Throw that one away. I'm not going to open this all up now, but I cut it into, let's say I cut it into half, like that, and then make big pieces like that for going into soups. And again, I just keep them like that. In a bag in the freezer or a box. The bag crushes down and takes up less space. Then I've got the ends of my leeks. What am I going to do with them? Well, I'll show you. I take out the inner bit that's still nice to make that sort of thing, and I cut them up. I wash them, of course, because they're usually muddy, and I wrap them up in a nylon cloth, or it could be a tea towel, and I put them on the radiator to dry. And here these are dried. I'll throw that on my throwaway place. Hop, there we are. And then what do I do with them? Well, hard for me to show you, but I stick them in here, the coffee grinder, and then I, listen. 1, these are dried, remember, they dried 24 hours on the radiator, or even 48 hours. Voila! And then what do I have? I've got to open it. Voila. Just like that, I have a whole lot of powder, which I put into a little jar, and I use it just like that for sprinkling on my salads, putting in my soups, putting on my vegetables, mixing with butter and spreading it over a steak, over the fish. Very, very useful. Well, that's all I have to tell you about my leeks today. And if you see, I'm wearing Christmas things. See? I make a whole lot of these very large napkins. And for very special friends in the past, I've given them these napkins, 24, something like that, oh, maybe 12, but usually 24, because they can put them together over a table and make a Christmas tablecloth. They're very adaptable, and use them, of course, for Christmas napkins. That's about all I've got to tell you. I hope you enjoyed that funny little moment and Christmassy feeling all through the year. And also I can tell you that in all my books, there's nearly always some recipes about oysters, cooking them, or about all sorts of things, unusual recipes at the back of the book, which we'll read about in the story. Well, that's all for now. Goodbye.